Hey everybody, Jim and Chris here. The big day has come and gone. We have a new president. Jim here.
Or repeat president.
That's true. That's true. Jim here is our political guru. If you didn't know, I'm the guy that gets stuck in this spreadsheets and worrying about how to build houses, and he makes sure that the rest of the ship is on course. So he's been looking deeply into what this means for us. You know, in every presidency, whether this is the president you want or not, but in every presidency, there is an effect on the real estate industry. And so that's what Jim's been looking at is, you know, what does the Trump presidency, repeat Trump presidency, mean for us in the real estate world? So, Jim, I'll hand it over to you.
Yeah, it's been interesting to watch this one unfold, and we had to be prepared for either side to win and say, what are our strategies? What are going to be the silver linings, or what are going to be the lucrative action steps we can take, not only for our company, but for our investors? With Trump, there's a lot of good things. First off, don't smack a gift horse in the mouth, I think is the old saying, something like that. I might be getting it wrong, but Trump loves real estate. And that people might say that's unfair. Or, look, we're going to take a little unfairness in our favor because we know he loves real estate. He believes in it. You've all heard him speak about it being the backbone of the U.S. economy. So he is very pro real estate, not only because he invests in it, but he believes in it. So he wants to see the economy do well. So there's going to be all sort of incentives and initiatives that he's planning to do to continue to grow the housing market, especially in the affordable housing market with certain policies I think will be very, very advantageous for our business model and our investors as well. Another thing that's been really important with Trump coming aboard is he's not going to support some of the Harris administration's initiatives that she was pushing very hard on that had a lot of our bigger investors worried. One thing we've had to learn working with individual investors, but larger family offices and institutions is, what is their temperature gauge right now? And a lot of them were very concerned with some of the talk of unrealized gains, where, people with larger portfolios were going to have to pay out on equity gains without selling the property. And that could get very expensive. And what we had the concern of, when you put too much regulation onto a certain industry like that, these big guys will say, nope, we're out. And it almost can, create a run on the bank. They pull so much money out of an industry, it can be very detrimental to the health, to the values, because it's no secret you pull money out of an industry. It's bad if there's a lot more money going into the industry. Well, that's great for growth. So Trump is not going to support that. He's also not really big on pushing for higher tenant laws and tenant rights, because what he has said, he felt that that's really become lopsided. There's not an equilibrium there. And the Harris administration was pushing for greater tenant laws, which means longer eviction periods, more money to get them out, and more compensation sometimes to a tenant who is not performing to get them out. And that
Possibly even rent control, right?
Well, in rent control, that's the other thing. What the Harris administration was talking about was a national rent control. And that was always interesting to me because, rent control, let's say you set rent control, and it sounds good in theory, but what about you, the investor that have saved your money, you've gotten a great new construction property, and then you get put on rent control, but your insurance goes up, and then your maintenance and repairs go up. These are the things where it's not really fair. And what happens in the inflationary effect times is wages go up. I mean, we saw in COVID when we were doubling the team size, right? I mean, the salaries went up, and that's great. But you can't really lock in then the real estate investor to be rent controlled if all those other things are going up, and we have to stay stagnant. So I'm very excited that we're not going to be seeing rent controls. And what this does for the real estate market in general is it encourages more money to come in. And that's really what we were hoping to see. And to help that money come in, the final thing that Trump is very dedicated to is, and we saw this back in the 80s when things got really crazy and high, he's going to push for the Fed to cut rates. In fact, they're looking, Chris, at 4 to 6 rate cuts over the next 12 months. So if that happens, along with his other initiatives, and he's staying away from some of the things he thought would have been very anti-real estate investing, that's going to be great for us. And specifically for our business model, as you guys know, we do builder forward commitments where we're pre-buying down the rates 2-3% sometimes below current standard rates. We're getting our investors in before those drops actually happen. So more money will be coming in. But our plan of action, as you know, with a lot of our investors like you, is to get them in before because we believe there's going to be another upswing from this. So some very exciting things for 2025 really, in this next 4-year presidency.
Now, do you think that there will be any effect on that sunsetting of the accelerated depreciation rules? Do you think they'll wind that back?
That I'm not sure of. I know that Trump is a big fan of accelerated depreciation. So
Of course, he owns a lot of real estate.
He's got a lot of real estate. So again, another incentive where he's going to keep that in place and possibly even, not sure, but push to get it even more.
Yeah, because if they would just roll that back to where it was, even a year or so ago, it's still great now, but
It's different.
it's definitely become, a little bit less appealing than it was previously.
Yeah, so he's a big fan. He has said he wants more, not less. I know there was talk of even taking that away, just like there was talk of, different things. So for real estate investors, again, it doesn't matter to us where you fall on the political spectrum. We're here to help you make money in real estate. We do believe that for real estate investing and the type of investments we do, it's going to be a really good 4 years ahead for us, not only for our company, but for our investors as well.
Yeah.
So
very good. Well, I appreciate you looking into it, sir.
no problem. I'll see you guys in 4 years. So take
Thanks,
care.
everybody.